You know that feeling when you're hunched over your pottery wheel, clay spinning between your palms, and suddenly realize you've been perfecting the same misshapen bowl for 3 hours? Your shoulders are rock hard, spine curved like a question mark, fingers pruned and aching from constant moisture. The studio's silence feels thick, oppressive, each minute bleeding into another without progress. You know that feeling when you're standing in the pediatric oncology waiting room, watching your child's treatment schedule get reshuffled for the 3rd time? Your chest feels like a compressed accordion, breath shallow and rapid. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead, casting a sterile blue that makes everything feel simultaneously urgent and suspended. Your hands, normally steady, are trembling so slightly only you can detect the microscopic vibration. You know that feeling when you're translating a complex research paper and realize you've been staring at the same paragraph for 45 minutes, comprehending nothing? Your jaw clenches so tightly your molars ache, a dull throb spreading across your temples. The academic jargon blurs into meaningless symbols, each sentence a labyrinth with no discernible exit. Your stomach churns with a mixture of frustration and self-reproach. These moments, seemingly different yet fundamentally similar, whisper a profound truth about time. Seneca understood something crucial: time is not just a resource, but the very fabric of our existence. Each wasted moment is not just lost productivity, but a small death of potential. What if these fragments of distraction are more than mere interruptions? What if they're invitations, quiet revelations about how we truly spend our most irreplaceable currency? The weight isn't in the hours themselves, but in our unconscious surrender. Your body knows this before your mind comprehends it. That tension in your shoulders, that tightness in your chest, those trembling hands, they're not just physical sensations. They're your internal alarm, signaling a deeper disconnection. Time doesn't simply pass. You negotiate with it, moment by moment, choice by choice. The question isn't how much time you have. The question is, are you truly present for the time you're given? That fear you just felt? It is costing you more than you realize. Time is not a renewable resource. Every moment you spend in hesitation, in silent paralysis, is a moment you'll never recover. Seneca understood this profound truth: our most valuable currency is not money, but the moments we choose to invest in ourselves. Consider 3 scenarios where inaction devours your potential. First, the manuscript gathering dust. Your fingers hover over the keyboard, trembling slightly. The blank document stares back, a white expanse of unborn dreams. Your chest tightens, breath shallow. Years will pass, and that novel, your novel, will remain an unwritten whisper, a ghost of what could have been. Second, the health appointment you keep postponing. Your stomach churns with a nameless anxiety. That strange pain, that persistent cough, you know something feels different. But scheduling feels like admitting vulnerability. Your jaw clenches so hard your molars ache. Months slip by, and what might have been a manageable condition could become a life-altering diagnosis. Third, the conversation you're terrified to have. With your partner. About dreams. About growing apart. Your hands feel cold, fingers rigid. The silence between you grows wider than words, a canyon of unspoken truths. Each sunset passes, each shared meal becomes a performance, and connection calcifies into polite distance. These are not just moments. They are erosions of your potential. Small deaths, happening daily. This philosopher knew, we are not guaranteed tomorrow. Every hesitation is a surrender. Every fear left unchallenged is a future stolen. Your life is happening right now. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Not when fear magically disappears. Right now. What will you choose? So why do we do this to ourselves? The answer lies in a fundamental misunderstanding. You're standing in the pediatric oncology waiting room, your daughter's medical file clutched so tightly your knuckles have gone white. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead, casting a sickly green pallor across rows of uncomfortable chairs. Your breath keeps catching in your throat, shallow, rapid, barely sustaining you. Each tick of the wall clock feels like a hammer against your racing heart. This is where patterns reveal themselves. Not in grand moments, but in these quiet, excruciating spaces between certainty and fear. Your body remembers every previous medical uncertainty, the tension coiling through your shoulders, the way your stomach churns like a turbulent sea. You're not just waiting for test results. You're reliving every unresolved moment of vulnerability. Seneca would recognize this immediately. Time isn't just passing, it's being consumed by your own internal narrative. You're living multiple realities simultaneously, the present moment, potential futures, remembered anxieties, all braiding together into a suffocating emotional landscape. Your mind does this reflexively, projecting worst-case scenarios, rehearsing grief before grief arrives. It's a protective mechanism gone haywire, an evolutionary remnant designed to prepare you, but now simply exhausting you. The fundamental misunderstanding is believing that anticipating pain prevents pain. Your nervous system cannot distinguish between imagined trauma and actual experience. Every catastrophic scenario you mentally rehearse triggers the same physiological stress response: cortisol flooding, muscles tensing, breath constricting. What if, instead, you could be present? What if preparation didn't mean suffering in advance? Seneca would suggest a radical alternative: acknowledge uncertainty without being consumed by it. Recognize that worry is a form of self-indulgence, a performance of control when true control is impossible. Your daughter's name is called. You stand, your legs momentarily weak, but something has shifted. You are here. Now. Breathing. Now that we understand where this wisdom comes from, let us break down exactly how it works. Time is not a river flowing past you, it's the water you're swimming in. You're standing in the pediatric oncology waiting room, your daughter's medical file tucked under your arm, and suddenly every minute feels like a lifetime and no time at all. Your chest tightens. Breath shallow. Hands slightly trembling. This is where Seneca's wisdom cuts through the noise. You cannot control the diagnosis, but you can control how you inhabit this moment. Not with false positivity, but with radical presence. Your shoulders soften imperceptibly as you realize acceptance isn't surrender, it's strategic engagement. Principle 1: prioritize what matters. You look around. Other parents. Worried faces. Sterile hallways. And you understand that time is not an infinite resource. Each moment is a choice. Will you spend it in anxiety or in connection? Principle 2: act with intention. Your breath deepens. You open the file. You ask questions. You're not passive. You're not a victim. You're a participant in this unfolding moment. Principle 3: release what you cannot change. The waiting room becomes a classroom. Your body knows this. Jaw unclenches. Stomach unknots. You're learning that acceptance is an active verb. Seneca would smile. This is not about being calm. This is about being present. About understanding that your response creates the experience, not the circumstance. You're not waiting. You're witnessing. You're not suffering. You're experiencing. And in this moment, that is everything. Here is where everything shifts. This is not just a technique, it is a complete transformation. Scenario 1: the freelance spiral. Before, your inbox is a graveyard of half-finished proposals, each unread email a tiny dagger of guilt. Your shoulders hunch like weighted chains, breath shallow and rapid. The clock reads 2:47 p.m., and you've accomplished nothing, again. Your throat feels tight, constricted by the invisible pressure of potential failure. After, you realize time is not your enemy, but your most precious resource. Each unfinished project becomes a deliberate choice, not a failure. Your hands, once trembling, now move with surgical precision. You create a ruthless prioritization system, understanding that saying no is an act of radical self-respect. The chest that once felt compressed now expands, breathing becomes a choice, not a reaction. Scenario 2: chronic health uncertainty. Before, medical reports scatter across your kitchen table like fallen leaves. Your stomach churns with each test result, uncertainty a constant companion. Nights blur into endless internet research, jaw clenched so tight your teeth ache. The future feels like a dark, unpredictable landscape. After, you understand that worrying changes nothing. Your body is not a battlefield, but a temporary home. Each moment of health becomes a celebration, each challenge an opportunity for growth. The tension in your shoulders dissolves, replaced by a quiet, fierce acceptance. You are not your diagnosis, you are the consciousness experiencing it. Scenario 3: creative blockade. Before, the blank page mocks you, a white expanse of potential failure. Your hands hover over the keyboard, paralyzed. Every sentence feels like a betrayal of the brilliant idea trapped in your mind. Shame pools in your chest, a heavy, suffocating weight. After, creativity becomes a practice, not a performance. You understand that perfection is the enemy of creation. Your relationship with your work transforms. Each draft is a conversation, not a final statement. The creative process becomes fluid, playful. Your breath deepens, hands move with newfound freedom. In each scenario, the transformation is not about eliminating struggle, but changing your relationship with it. Time becomes an ally, uncertainty a teacher, and your inner landscape, a place of dynamic, compassionate exploration. Understanding the shift is one thing. Here is how you practice it, starting today. First, the sunset review technique. Every evening, as the light softens and the day's noise fades, you'll sit with a small notebook and 3 questions. Not a journal, a precise practice. Picture yourself in your kitchen. The ceramic mug's warmth seeps into your palms. Your breath slows. You write, what went well today? Where did I resist reality? What can I accept differently tomorrow? Take Sarah, a graphic designer whose startup project just collapsed. Her first review reveals her hands were clenched all day, shoulders locked against disappointment. By documenting her resistance, she realizes she's fighting a reality already written. The second practice, morning visualization of impermanence. Before checking your phone, before coffee, spend 3 minutes imagining everything changing. Your job, your relationships, your body. Not with fear, but with curiosity. Imagine Marcus, a software engineer whose team is restructuring. His chest used to tighten at organizational shifts. Now, he breathes into the uncertainty. He sees change not as threat, but as natural movement, like wind through trees. Both practices share a core insight: acceptance isn't passive surrender. It's active engagement with what is. Week 1 feels awkward. Your mind will resist. Your body might feel strange, like wearing a new skin. By week 3, something shifts. The notebook becomes a compass. The morning visualization, a breath of freedom. Common mistakes? Turning these into rigid rules. They're practices, not prison. Some days you'll nail it. Some days you'll forget. That forgetting? Also part of the practice. Seneca would smile. Not at perfection, but at your willingness to look reality in the eye and say, I see you. I'm here. Your power isn't in controlling the waves. It's in learning to surf. Once you have practiced these techniques, the next step is weaving them into daily life. You wake before sunrise, your breath shallow and deliberate. The morning light filters through half-drawn curtains, and you pause, not to plan, but to simply be present. Your first challenge arrives during a telehealth consultation with your chronic pain specialist. Your spine feels like brittle kindling, each vertebra a potential point of collapse. The doctor's voice becomes distant as your chest tightens, that familiar anxiety of uncertainty pressing against your ribs. But now, you recognize this sensation. You don't fight it. Instead, you breathe into the tightness, acknowledging the pain without letting it consume you. Midday finds you in a community garden, hands deep in soil while managing a work call. Your shoulders want to climb toward your ears, stress is default posture. But you've learned. You consciously drop them, feeling the earth's coolness between your fingers. The client's urgent demands become background noise. Your jaw unclenches. You are here, now. Later, sorting medical bills that could overwhelm most people, you feel your stomach churning. These papers represent more than numbers, they're potential narratives of limitation. But you've practiced. You spread them across the kitchen table, breathing slowly. Each bill becomes information, not judgment. Your palms, usually sweating in such moments, remain dry and steady. Evening arrives with a gentle self-reflection. What worked today? Where did you meet challenges with presence? Your throat relaxes as you review, not with criticism, but curiosity. Small victories matter: the moment you chose awareness over reaction, the breath you took instead of spiraling. This is not perfection, it is direction. You are learning to inhabit time rather than be haunted by it. Acceptance isn't surrender, it's radical engagement with what is, right now. Let us bring this full circle. Remember where we started? That moment of paralysis, when the weight of your unmet potential pressed against your chest like a stone, when every possibility felt simultaneously overwhelming and impossible. You've traveled through the landscape of your own becoming. From the suffocating uncertainty of your initial struggles to this moment of quiet, hard-won clarity. Your journey wasn't about eliminating challenges, but transforming your relationship with them. Imagine now, you're in the pediatric oncology waiting room. Your child is getting treatment, and instead of drowning in fear, you breathe. Your hands don't tremble. Your jaw doesn't clench. You've learned that suffering is inevitable, But your response is a choice. Seneca would nod, this is precisely how one masters oneself. Or picture the startup pitch where last year you would have crumbled. Now? Your voice is steady. Your breath measured. When the investors ask tough questions, you don't see them as threats but as opportunities to refine your vision. Your chest expands with calm confidence, not constricting panic. The transformation isn't about never feeling fear. It's about feeling fear and moving through it with deliberate grace. You've learned to visualize potential challenges, not to paralyze yourself, but to prepare yourself. You've practiced seeing obstacles as teachers, not enemies. Your evening review now looks different. Instead of ruminating, you ask, what did I learn? Equals, where did I grow? How can I be more present tomorrow? These aren't just questions, they're invitations to continuous, compassionate self-understanding. If this opens something in you, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Share this with someone ready to hear it. Drop a comment, what insight hit you hardest? Watch the video appearing on screen now. Your transformation starts not tomorrow, right now, in this breath, in this choice.